Welcome to Blender Cosmos. Today we're going to be getting into basically building out a 3D version of the Cobra Kai emblem. We're going to get started with Blender 2.8 here, and we're just going to start with a cube, and we're going to move it out from there. Alright, so we're starting with a simple cube, and that's to default. Doesn't always have to start with the cube. You can select to start with whatever you want, a little monkey head if you want, or you can start with a plane if you do a lot of level layouts and things like that. So you can do more than just start with the cube. So what we're going to do first is we're going to hit Shift and D to make a copy of the cube here, or duplicate as they call it here. This just makes an exact duplicate. I'm going to do it again. So basically we're just starting to lay out the structure of the fist design. Okay. And do it again. Shift D. That looks good. Spaced widely enough. And now we're going to hit the S key, which allows you to stretch it. And if you want to stretch it vertically, you hit the Z key. So S plus Z, and you can drag and extend it upwards. That's what we're going to do here. Looks good. Alright, so we're going to move it up, and just to do that you hit the G key plus Z, and that allows you to move things up. And then we're going to shrink it down, basically just using the S key and the Z key again to shrink it a little bit. That way it's a little bit more proportional. See that? Perfect. And we're going to edit this one. I'm going to turn on my screencast keys. Sorry about that. We're going to stretch it. Press the S and the Z key. That looks good. That looks like some knuckles there. Yeah, it looks pretty good. One last copy. Start with the basic cube. Move that down a little bit and stretch it. Alright, so we're just going to position this cube, or flattened cube, get it just right so it can serve as the thumb for our 3D rendering, or 3D take on the Cobra Kai symbol. And so we're just going to get this kind of positioned here. I like it down here. This is good. Zoom in here. You can always focus on an object just by using the period key on the number pad. So we're going to select an edge here, drag this out. Oop, hit it by accident, sorry about that. So the H key hides faces and edges that are selected, so don't hit that if you don't intend on doing it, but if you do, just hit the H key again, or hit Control Z. So I'm going to drag this edge out here just to make the trapezoid that is the thumb for the image here. Now I have to rotate this. You can rotate any object just by hitting R and then selecting for what kind of rotation you want. So you can do Y, Z, or X. And then we're going to scale it up here. Now we've got all these selected. We're going to try to I'm going to bevel these, but I think it's better if I bevel them individually. But we're going to play around with it a little bit here and see what we get. Shrink this one down a little bit. It's a little bit too big. Trying to get the proportions just right and relative to each other, and basically to make sure they show the emblem. And there you have it. So now I'm not gonna bevel all these. Actually, I'm just gonna bevel one at a time. And that way I can get them to be a little offset, which is like the normal human hand. So let's do that. Just bevel this one, and to bevel anything you just hit Control and B, and that takes all the edges and makes them less sharp. And I don't like sharp edges in most of my work. You'll see me beveling like crazy. I think most people will agree that sharp edges are hideous in some degrees or some instances. I'm going to bevel the last one here, or the second to last one anyway. Looks good, looks good. I like it. Slightly offset a little bit, just like the human hand would look. I'm going to bevel this last one. Select all, hit A to select all of an object, and then you just hit Control B and bevel the whole thing, and now that looks a lot more like a human fist, or a approximation of a human fist. Let's put it that way. You just hold down your middle mouse button if you want to pan around your work there. Alright, so let's add our materials here. So we're going to select the face by either pressing 3 or pressing the emblem there. Allows you to select an entire face. And hopefully people are better at selecting things than I am. Alright, so now we're just going to add a color. I'm going to pick out blue, so I'm going to go through a couple shades to see if I can figure out which shade of blue I like the best here. So try to get them on like a particular kind of blue that's a little lighter than true blue, so I usually use that on most of my projects there. That looks good. I think I like that one, but I'm going to try a lighter one with the next one here. Try a lighter blue and see what it looks like. There you go again. So I'm just going to select all the faces. To a certain extent, you can do this a lot easier by using the C key and your middle mouse button to shrink down the selecting box. And you can select these a lot easier with that, but I tend to like to kind of dance around my models here, so sometimes I'll take the hard way. So I'm happy with that. And we're going to add material again. This time a little lighter blue, and see what that looks like. That looks good. Do it again. Try somewhere in between. Blue that's in between. Yep, selecting my edges again. Make sure I get them all. Give me these little ditzels in between. It's good, almost done. Selecting all the edges. Again, add material. Let's choose another close variant of the blue. Let's see what this one looks like with the shader. I love my shader, so that one's somewhere in between, a little bit closer to the first one, but I like it. Let's see. So that one's kind of in between. Let's see. Selecting our edges again. I'm going to add the material. You know, sometimes it's easier if you can't see through some of your objects to just go ahead and hide them from the view pane, but I'm kind of used to doing it where I just go around the things in the way. But as I get more efficient with both my videos and my modeling, I'll of course start hiding things that get in the way, like in this case. Let's just leave it alone. Let's see here. Try this blue and see what this one looks like. It's about the second one. Okay. Just kind of back and forth with that. And I'll drag that down. Okay. Try to position this one a little better. I like that. It's good. Now select all the edges. If you just want to select all the edges, you can just hit the Alt key, and that'll allow you to select all the edges at once. But again, I'm trying to show how you select all the faces. So let's see this one. Yeah, so I like that one. And I was trying to go for definitely a blue edge, but I think I'll add an emissive and just do away with all these, because now I have all these variations of blue here. Some are almost the same. I think 2 and 4 are about the same, so I'm just going to remove all these and go with an emissive instead. But for everything else that I didn't select, I'm going to tank these, make these a different color. Orange. Let's go with dark. That'll make the blue pop out more. So dark and emissive together usually looks really good. So let's try that and see what happens. Trying to remove these materials. And so I only have one material, so let's get that done. Let's see. And about. So we're going to just remove all these and try to get down to just one emissive for all of them. Yep, I accidentally undid that one. I'll redo that one. And again, if you want to do that in the future, just press the Alt key. You know what we should do? We should make this clear, I think. That way I can put something inside of it. Like putting things inside of things. That's my big thing as a blender guy. Like making models that have stuff inside of other stuff. And
blender.
Ooh, looks really good. I'm in love with it. But I want to make it transparent. Translucent. That way you can see through it. That way I could put people in there like they're trapped or something. Make it dark. Yeah, there we go. Perfection. Of course, you can always do things better, right? But yeah, learned a long time ago that perfect is the enemy of the good. I'm gonna fix this surface I missed on the back edge here. It's easy as just beveling this edge. Oops. Faces. 3 key for faces, 2 for edges, 1 for vertices. And that's good enough. All right. Looks good. I'm happy with it. So this is part 1. I'll send out another one where we add some things. Still don't know what I'm going to add yet, but I tend to meditate on these things and I come up with a solution. But thanks for watching. This is Blender Cosmos. Subscribe for more content. Always save your work. So there's me saving. And I tend to save multiple iterations for my projects. You'll see me go all the way up to like version 45 as I try to save every little step. That way if I make a misstep and don't realize it, I can go back and don't have to start from scratch. So it's just a way of saving multiple iterations of your work. And let's add an emissive here. Make these things kind of pop out a little bit better, and you'll see what I've been harping on this whole time about emissives up against a dark background. Let's add some bloom. This will make it pop a little bit, and that's what creates that haze that you see with neon lights or some of those really strong scenes in movies. It's all about bloom. Bloom and a good emissive strength. Looks really good. So that's our bloom here. Shaders on. Try to get the select the blue. There it is. Yeah, I like that better. That's much better. Yeah. Bam. Punch to the face. Bam. Bam. I like that. I'm loving it. This is why I love getting into Blender. You make a lot of cool stuff. Simple and complex. This is a simple project, but wanted to just kind of highlight the basics of Blender here. And I plan on releasing some courses throughout the rest of the year. Just on kind of popular shows, things like that. So look out for more content to come. Let's make this brighter. Boom. Look at that. Oh yeah. Beautiful. Blooming all day. Tron meets Cobra Kai. Look at that. So that's really cool. Add this to my ArtStation account. You can find us on ArtStation. I'll put a link down at the bottom for that, so you can find me on there. If you appreciated the video, please like and subscribe. Like I said, I'll be putting out more content in the weeks and months to come. I got a lot more downtime as COVID kind of goes away and more of my time comes back. I'm going to get into some pretty cool projects and start my little Blender career here. But it's shiny. I like that. It's kind of like a opal kind of effect to it. I like that. Maybe turn down the brightness a little bit. That looks good, huh? I'm going to render it and add some other parts to it. This is just part 1 of the series for the Cobra Kai emblem. We'll add some other parts, maybe like a halo or something, I don't know. But stay tuned as we add those things.